6:01 by my count. We'll call this meeting to order. Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
All right, Dan Jensen.
Here.
Scott Duffner. Dwight Robb.
Here.
Mark Herrick.
Here.
Kristen Pfeiffer.
Here. Okay. Item number 2 is changes or additions to the main agenda. There's 2. Did you get all 3 of them on there?
3.
All right. There should be 3 changes in red. One is 7.3. It's a restoration. Amy's going to talk about of student contact time, I believe. And then 8.3 is social studies curriculum. A little update on the budget for that. And then 8.4 is the OSBA Roadshow invitation. So I would need to have a motion to accept those changes to the agenda.
I'll move that we accept the agenda as amended.
I'll second that.
And there's nothing else that we're missing. Okay. All those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. Item number 3, public comment. We have public. Is there any comment? Yeah, kind of. Okay. Anything online, Janet? Anybody trying to contact us?
Nothing in the chat.
Let's just
Okay. Well, we will move forward then. Number 4, consent agenda items. You should have the June 8th regular minutes. There was a couple of minor spelling grammar things I think we caught early. So those are all updated in your computer. So, and then everything else was acceptable, I believe. So I'd need a motion for the consent agenda unless there's something you want to pull.
Oh, there isn't a transportation. Sorry.
Correct.
You both like, no, I'm too busy fixing buses.
So should we pull that off?
I'm just going to type in none this month.
Okay.
Yeah, I move to accept consent agenda as presented. Second that.
Mark second. All those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Perfect. Board discussion, board goal update. We're going to hear a little bit about that process tonight. I believe Amy sent out some slides to you. So that's kind of her way to get us into the whole board agenda and the strategic planning. So that's an ongoing thing there. I don't think we had any committee reports. I know they didn't have a CTE meeting. I don't believe there wasn't ESD. Was there anything on your guys' end from the facilities wise? Okay.
No foundation stuff.
Nothing from NLCS. So committees are
Close for the summer.
probably in hibernation. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Okay. 5.3 district policy review is that big packet that Gail went through, and she just got her notes out to us. My proposal is, since Ms. Skirvin now is on board, I would like her to review those as well before we move forward with it. So I would like to table it, but I don't know what the board's pleasure is on that because
I have read them. I don't know if that matters to you.
yeah, I don't know if we're ready to,
It's fine.
because this would be the second reading and adoption of it.
You don't
So
have to adopt them on the second reading.
Yeah,
so we just don't vote on it then.
Or we could say second reading, but not about.
Okay. But I would like it to be on the agenda for the next meeting. And that'd give us some time to make sure that,
Right. Or you're right. I could just table them.
yeah, let's just table it.
Table till.
So I need a motion for table.
With that, we probably need to meet in August. Because otherwise, yeah, if you're going to skip the August meeting, in that September, you might have a new batch.
in first reading, yeah. Maybe they'll have these corrected for the September meeting.
Well, you might, that's-
So,
We didn't even meet in August for- it's probably-
yeah, I don't know. That's a conversation, probably, so.
Next table for August.
We would need a motion to table.
Yeah, I'll move that we table the policy review
The next
for the next meeting.
board meeting when that
Next
might,
board meeting.
okay? A second, Preston second, all those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Perfect. Don't want one or two of those to slip through the cracks. We didn't review really well. Number 6, group number 6, we gotta do our board organization. So we have a big sheet on that, correct?
I'll tell you that. Just handle procedural business.
There we are. Perfect. So looks like the first item of business that we have there is the election of board chair. So we would need a motion to nominate a board chair. And do the vote process for that first.
Yeah, you're willing to,
Well, I was going to nominate Scott because he's not
because you're
here.
not, well, I thought
Isn't that how
that-
it works?
He did make sure in his text message back to me that no, he would like to stay in his current form. So, yeah, I mean, I would do it, especially in the transition period that we're in. If
I think you.
Unless somebody else is.
You've been the chair through the beginning of the transition. It makes sense for you to remain.
yeah, so I'll nominate Dan Jensen.
So.
Okay. Any discussion? No, there's no discussion. I don't-
not that we should- not that we should-
Yeah, we'll get that later, I guess. So all those in favor? 4-0, Janet.
Thanks, Dan.
No problem. Vice chair position, I said Scott did express. I believe it's in a text message if people don't believe me, but he did express that he would maintain his current responsibilities if that was the pleasure of the board, but we would seek a nomination one way or the other.
Yeah, I'll nominate Scott Duffner for vice chair. I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? 4-0. Congratulations, Scott. You're not even here. It's good. All right, and then we'll move on to B. We have to designate the ADA coordinator, and that would be Miss Amy Skirvin. Section 504 authority, Cameron Mitchum, and then the Title 1A, 2A, 2D, holy smokes, and all the other authorities there would be Amy Skirvin.
Maybe all those in one motion.
Yes, I believe we can because it's all one category.
Oh, yeah, the whole 6.2, yeah.
Or just section,
All B.
section B.
Section B.
Oh, yeah. Section B on the memorandum, but it's 6.2 on the agenda.
Oh, do I have it all? Yes, I have the lettering for the memorandum, yeah.
It's all good.
I move that we designate Amy Skirvin, the ADA coordinator, Cameron Mitchell, section 504 authority, and Amy Skirvin, all of the title authorities listed.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. Selection of the school attorney. Currently, it's Garrett Heeman et al. I don't know who all is there now. Looks like their rate is 300. Is that verified?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a motion for that particular attorney?
Yeah, I'll move that we keep the current school attorney as Garrett Heeman.
Second.
Second.
Be Mark. All those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. We're on to D here, which is select the insurance agent of record. North Lake points their agent of record as Bill Gilmore of Great Basin Insurance in Klamath Falls. Is there a motion or discussion?
I'll move we keep Bill Gilmore, Great Basin Insurance, as our insurance agent of record.
Second.
Preston, second. All those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Item E is designate a board secretary. That would be Janet Waldron. Is there a motion?
I'll move we have designate Janet Waldron as board secretary.
Ask her if she's still willing to do
You
it.
guys can volunteer.
Oh. Well, there's Scott outstanding. Yeah.
Second.
Preston is a second on that. All those in favor? That'll be 4-0, Janet. Congratulations. Item F, select district auditor. That would be Umpqua Valley Financial.
That's through the ESD anyhow, right? I think.
Yeah, how is that selected? We had this question before.
That is.
Yeah.
And they pay for it.
And we never changed that.
They had an RFP,
Yes, ma'am.
they had an RFP initially last year, and they sent it out and got quotes from all different people, and then they got to all the districts.
Okay. Yeah. I just know usually they like to change auditors every 2 years or so and stuff, but that's probably the only one out there, maybe.
We didn't have two jail and one.
Only because we're changing from Amy to Gail, do I recommend that we just do this all separately this year? Next year, yes.
Okay, I'll move that we select Umpqua Valley Financial as our district auditor.
Okay. Mark's second. All those in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. All right, appoint superintendent as deputy clerk. According to ORS 332.515, the district superintendent is clerk. That would be Amy Skirvin.
I move we appoint Amy Skirvin as district clerk.
All right,
Second.
Mark second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. You going too fast? Are we all right? Okay. Next item is appoint deputy clerk. That would be Monica Mattis.
I move that we appoint Monica Mattis deputy clerk.
Okay.
Second.
Mark second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. Appoint budget officer, election officer, and affirmative action officer, which would be Amy Skirvin.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Mark's the second. All in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Appoint custodians of funds. This would be Amy Skirvin and Monica Mattis.
I'll move that we appoint custodian funds be Amy Skirvin and Monica Mattis.
Second.
Preston's the second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. On the K, determine the amount of fidelity bonds for persons who shall be bonded. Currently is 100,000. Is that correct?
We talked about this last year. We just had the superintendent monitor. Or we have anybody else?
I think we, yeah, go ahead, Monica.
Yeah, deputy clerk and the clerk of bonded.
Yes.
The bond is just, will just be Amy, there was only. just
Oh,
one
gotcha.
credit, And it's 100,000, and then the rest of us are covered under our risk insurance through PACE.
Through pace.
And we increased that one.
Yeah, that's right. Because it was like 50,000 or something, wasn't it? And we,
So I think we're-
okay. Remember that discussion now. So good.
I move that we maintain $100,000 bond amount.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Dwight's the second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. Select depositories of funds, Sage Credit Union. This would be a change of the name. That's the payroll account, student body savings, AP checking account, and district money market account. And then the local government investment pool, LGIP in Salem, that's our savings. We need to approve those as our depositories.
Yeah, I move that we select Sage Credit Union Queens Valley for our payroll account, student body savings, AP checking account, and district money market account, as well as the local government investment pool savings account. So,
Okay, Mark's second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. Select a newspaper for local publications. That'd be the Lake County Examiner, Lakeview.
I'll move that we accept the Lake County Examiner, Lakeview as our local newspaper.
we submit to the bulletin as well. We only have to have one on file. It should be,
We have to have one, but it has to be able to, what was the restriction? It has to be printed
It's gotta be something about in your county or something.
once a week. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gotta be
once a week. And the bulletin was once a month, so something like that. Is there a second?
Second.
Mark's a second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Thank you. And then finally, establish monthly meeting dates and time, second Monday of the month, meeting times at 6 p.m. Is there any changes to that? If not, I would need a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to establish the monthly meeting date and time as the second Monday of the month at 6 p.m.
I'll second that.
Dwight, second. All in favor? 4-0, Janet. Painless. Okay. That closes out item number 6, I believe. New business superintendent entry plan, the first 100 days.
Yay.
Tyler grants.
That's it. Excuse me.
There's a bunch of Tyler grants on that.
Yeah, on the computer, there's.
Oh, there's no motion
Oh,
on it.
that's
So
just the definitions, so when you guys.
that's what you approved earlier.
Right, perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was. Stop screwing around with me more. My goodness, I was like, what? All right, sorry, Amy, we're ready now.
So I was just trying to think of like starting on at North Lake and two as a superintendent, getting my head wrapped around everything and having some clear direction on things like we talked about before. So I put things into basically 3 priorities: strong operations, teaching and learning, and then just one district, one direction, just focusing on that alignment piece. However, under each one of those priorities is kind of like a bucket of other things that fall under that. So it's not just those 3 things. So under strong operations, looking at our financial stability, our facilities and maintenance, communication, human resources, student recognition, and efficiencies. So these are just kind of falling under that umbrella of what we're focusing on. This is not something that it's all going to be done by the next time I meet you. This is like an ongoing process of improvement and growth. But this is what I would like to be able to report to you on each board meeting of where we're at with these and how things are going, as well as with the other administration team. And then teaching and learning, that's kind of a big umbrella, but it's my passion and what I get really excited about is teacher growth and student learning. So this is looking at our high quality instruction, our walkthroughs, our professional learning, our curriculum alignment, assessments, and student engagement. So I have a plan in my head that I'm going to meet with Cameron and Aaron in the beginning of August to really kind of nail down of what our direction is going to be in the building and who's going to be responsible for what and what our expectations are, so we can line out our teacher and service region on the same page, because I'm a big believer in communicating those things and making sure that we're all on the same page and we're not on different chapters or even reading a different book. So those areas fall under that instructional plan. And then finally, just that getting that alignment piece. I know we've kind of talked about board goals before, but if we don't have the board goals or the strategic plan or the district priorities, it's hard for us as a building to make sure that we're aligned to what you guys are looking for and what we need to have. In addition, Oregon Department of Ed is bringing down the accountability. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. So looking at where we're at. So I've started collecting data for the past 3 or 4 years of where we're at compared to where our cluster is, because they broke it down all into clusters and we're in like group 5, cluster 2, I think it is, cluster 1, excuse me. So we're being compared with all these other districts as well. And that's our measure for where we need to be. So we need to put a plan in place to make sure that we can get to that growth in the next 5 years. So that's also what we'll be working on, and that also helps with our alignment. So that's where we'll have the board goals, the district priorities, and then we'll have a continuous improvement plan dialed in with that, along with the school improvement plan for the elementary and for the secondary, working on our administrative goals, teacher practice, and student success. So that's kind of the overall nutshell of everything. But what I would like to propose is our reports to you are going to be based off of this, so that you know that where we're at, rather than nuts and bolts in the calendar, what's happening. We can still present that to you, but I think it's important that we're able to tell you where we're at with our improvement. Questions?
Sounds welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Do you want to tell us all the committees you're on now?
And secretary.
All right.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we're kind of got a blank sheet of paper, really, in terms of the goal setting for the district. So, and I think as a board, we've struggled just, trying to wrap our heads around it. So kind of dove into it last year thinking, what goals should we set for just the board, and then start trickling that out to the overall school plan. So, but we definitely need a strategic plan for the building. And I think it's too premature to throw you into that until you get a flow of what exactly the nuts and bolts of the day-to-day school operations are. So I think in 100 days for us in the fall, when things start settling down for many of us, we're going to have to spend some time to really think about strategic planning and getting things laid out to help them be successful, as well as the whole school district. So.
And my hope is we can bring you data so that you also have an understanding of our baseline of where we're at, and that October, November, we can have a work session or something to really look into that and set some goals.
Yeah, I think it's a plan, good plan going forward. So yeah, keep us updated how we can help and what kind of dialogue you need from us too. So
We're gonna try to throw in the October session on the-
yes, both of what you just said. I like the idea. It might be just a hair early to throw that on there, but maybe.
Just put that on a reminder for future
Yeah.
agenda items, just a reminder about.
Yeah.
Yeah, October always sounds good till it gets here.
Right, and then we got something else coming up too, so don't want to.
But
we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, keep that in front of us.
Yeah, might be doing second cutting still. All right, on that note, 7.2 is the PACE risk management report.
Barry's here.
Oh, there's Barry.
So beginning of June, we had our risk management assessment. You guys all got that report.
Hey Barry, why don't you come on up here and get your face on camera.
Gotta use here. I'll stand next. All right. I need
A
to
hot
stand.
seat.
Beginning of June, we had our risk management assessment through PACE. I believe we sent you guys that report. I printed it out, but I only have one copy. As you're looking through it, you'll see they label them anywhere from severe, moderate, and minor. Their biggest thing walking through note several different things, but probably their biggest one were just our shades on the doors that were lowered. When they were put in, they're put in for an emergency. You have an active shooter. You can lower the blinds. You kind of reiterated several times. They're not to lower during class. You read in there, it's under sexual abuse prevention strategy. That was probably the biggest one.
Which doors, is that the exterior doors or the classroom doors? Or everything?
So classroom doors are the ones they're most concerned about.
Those shades right there.
Yep, there's a page right there. The exterior doors, they're okay with those being lowered because the inside of the building is supposed to be secure. The outside, technically, you can't guarantee that. So if the exterior doors, those shades are lowered, it's not technically a bad thing because now we're keeping people on the outside being able to see into the building. But individual classrooms areas, they don't want to see very down it. So I believe Gail sent out an email the next day. I sent out one. They're all up within 48 hours. So, but moving forward is something probably easier for my teachers. I know kids doing stuff. It's just something that I'm cautious of, make sure they're raising them, reminding kids not to mess with them. Besides that, you'll see a few other minors on there, some severes. A little bit of work to do in the shop. We're putting in a new eye wash station to get rid of our portable eye wash station that's probably been in there since the 90s. A few doors, which during the walkthrough, you noticed in our I'm not exactly sure what we're calling that classroom now, but it's the old art room. There's 4 doors on the wall that you can't see. They have no windows, so that door can be shut. But he was assuming, I believe, that kids work in those rooms, which they don't. One is refrigerator storage, HVAC storage, and they're just used basically as storage. They're locked all the time. So I believe in my report back to Kevin, I mentioned that to him. We have here, we had a board get thrown over our designate of our concession stand, which was blocking. If there was a fire, it was blocking water from being able to get down. The stuff we do have up there, 3 wrestling mats, which were approved by the fire marshal to be up there. He just said nothing else, so we removed that for me to go there. A little bit of cleanup in chemical storage and science. We were able to get that. Miss Stacy worked on that over the last 2 weeks of school. And then playground, that's usually the indicator for ACE. They find all kinds of stuff. S-hooks not being closed. They don't really like S-hooks at all, even though they're acceptable. They don't like them, so we're changing all those out. Bolts on slides that show more than 2 threads. Can't show more than 2 threads. That slide's probably 35 years old. Yeah. We believe it or not, acorn nut sticks out too far. They were concerned about an acorn nut sticking out too far, so still kind of waiting to hear back on that part. But besides that, some of the fall areas, we have the wood chips. We add wood chips constantly, but now they're putting out rubber mats below the swing sets and slides that helps hold the wood chips, and they're not going to blow away. The kids aren't going to kick them out as much. At my IPM class last spring, the school we were at had several of those mats, and I kind of got mixed reviews about them. Some people said they were great. Some people said the kids trip on them constantly. So they're like, yeah, it's safer, but is it? So I don't know. And then our swing, we don't have enough clearance. It was an issue Gary had told me about before he had left. We have a fence on the backside. We can't expand that fall area without completely removing the fence. So we put the signs up on the fence, or he didn't even say, Gary's suggestion were signs. He just said have the recess monitors make sure the kids are not swinging facing the fence, which I've never seen them swing facing the fence. But probably signs up there would be a good idea just to kind of cover ourselves. But like I said, I don't believe I've ever seen a kid swing facing the fence anyway. But besides that, everything went well. We liked the school. We talked a little bit about the roof, and Kevin got out of here.
Perfect.
About the roof, we have Spearhead Roofing out of Klamath Falls. They're going to come down in the next couple of weeks when they get time. They want to kind of walk the roof again, look at some of the points that are leaking, some of the new points that have started leaking, and try to put together a plan to patch them and get us through to next June. And talking with Chris, he said that they'll kind of set it up, as long as we don't go over our overall budget, we just continue the payment process through them, just like we would anything else.
It's the best Band-Aid right now. It's the best Band-Aid we got right now. So
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it beats, it sounded like some of the companies he talked to, they were more in favor of tearing sections of the roof off to fix it.
yeah.
And he thought, we're tearing the whole roof off
Right.
in less than a year. He didn't see the point in that. Spearhead understood, he was the one that originally did our assessment of the roof. So he's gonna come back out and pick the areas. They're just in the last month or so, we noticed a few other areas. One's on an expansion joint, one's in a valley opposite of the valley by the office. It started leaking, so we'll see what he has to say.
Stay on it, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
anything to get us through. the-
Well, and we appreciate you working through that because I know it's been a pain with us.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Keep delaying and moving things around, but we also see an opportunity that might be golden for us. So
Is there any feedback on that? Or word?
nothing. The 23rd would be the date for that preliminary acceptance or not on the grant,
So, yes,
the brick grant. And I asked, I called in last week towards the end of the week and I hadn't heard anything back from any of them. So but the application was submitted. So that much. So
Perfect.
good.
I had talked to Josh a little bit today,
Oh, good.
so he just sent me
That's right.
an email kind of update. So still looking at that FEMA brick possibility. That one's October, November deadline. It's a reiteration of that. EPA Clean School Bus Program is another one he's looking at. OD, Community Renewable Energy Program, Oregon BEAD, Broadband Equity Access Deployment, and a US DOT and an ODOT Safe Streets for all. So I can forward that over to you later if you're interested. It gives a little more blurb about each one. So-
Good. Did he confirm that he got that June application in?
He did not confirm that. He did say he wasn't able to get somebody to look at the roof prior to it.
Oh,
So I don't know if that means he
That
could not.
didn't or not. I know they had the application ready, but I don't know if it got submitted or not. That's what James was going to check on Thursday with him. So,
Yeah.
okay. If not, it'd be a fall submission.
Yeah,
Oh.
that might be, because that was that the brick one.
Yep, the brick one.
That
Yep.
would sound like-
Yeah, all the other ones were kind of sketchy. They're a little bit out there a ways, but so it's what we know. So thank you again. And I saw, when you're talking about the slide and the playground, I'm thinking we all need to show the scars of the playgrounds, accidents that we all had growing up, and we're still here.
We're still here.
We're still here.
That's right.
I mean, really, 2 threads? Come on.
You learn, yeah, you learn. Well, it was kind of funny because walking through the gym, we had the winches replaced in the gym,
Uh-huh.
and he had seen the bolts there. And he was like, man, those look like they're sticking out more than 2 threads too. Well, talking with Andy, I had mentioned that to Andy, and he said, I need more than 2 threads to secure it. He said, I can't tighten it down. I'm required to have 5. So I was like, and he just kind of laughed. And he's like, well, I don't know. He's like, everybody has their own set of rules now.
It's metal on the black feet. But where the threads on?
The ones that are mounted
On the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I guess if you jump really high, you get some.
Yeah.
Good. Might have a tall kid someday.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for that report. Sounds like we're in good shape regardless. So anything else for Barry? Any questions for him? All right, 7.3. I'm going to turn this over to Amy. It's involving school contact days, if I believe.
Yeah, it's instructional time. So I don't know. I'm assuming you guys are familiar with the governor's executive order of instructional time. And then there's the Division 22 instructional hours requirements. And they don't necessarily talk to each other. So a bunch of superintendents got an email right at like the 1st of July, June 30th, somewhere in there, where COSA set up a Zoom on July 7th. And I'm like, well, I don't remember. I didn't get an email, but I'm going to go to this anyway because it might have got sent to Gail and I don't have it. So I went to and listened to that. The superintendent's talking about the email that they got from ODE. So basically what is happening is you put in your projected instructional time at the beginning of the year, and then you report your actual instructional time. And if you have inclement weather or if you have something come up, it's going to be less. Well, if you have anything less, you have to either submit a plan to ODE to talk about how you're going to restore those hours in the 27-28 school year, or you have to meet with your board and have it publicly explained to justify it, and the board approved that, no, we're not going to make up those hours. It is what it is. So my recommendation is that we will not restore that time, and we will explain the justification of it. And the justification is in 24-25, there was 1 day of inclement weather, and there was a 2-hour delay because the bus is gelled up. And in 25-26, there was a day off to the septic system and a 2-hour delay to the power outage. Even with those, we still met the Division 22 instructional time. Elementary being over 900 hours, they were actually at 962. Secondary or 911, they're supposed to be at 990. We were at 1,041, and seniors are supposed to be at 960, and they were at 1,015. So we're still well beyond the instructional time, but because we lost instructional time with the new executive order, we have to either put a plan in place to restore it or have the board approve that we are not going to restore it because of these reasons.
So you just need a motion from
Yes,
us.
and I got the email at
5:05.
5:05 p.m. today, because I have Gail's emails for, and it was in writing, because this report is due in 2 days. July 15th. So
Yeah.
I would recommend that we not restore the time, and we explain the justification for it as the inclement weather and the septic.
Because some of those students are gone.
Well, I'll make a motion that we do not restore the time from the 24-25 and 25-26 school years based on instructional time, based on the explanation previous.
I'll second that.
Janet, you good?
Not restore the instructional time for 5 and 25, 26. For the reasons stated. Well, got those.
You put those in. Okay. Okay, any discussion on this?
I will say I'm glad they at least gave some leeway that we can. At first, it sounded like you weren't even gonna.
Right.
There was no option. That's good.
Yes. Now, we still don't know what the executive order is going to mean
Sure.
as far as what instructional hours are. That's a big topic. There is a statewide committee looking at that, but I'm on the statewide accountability matrix. So I'll be learning more about that and being able to present on that piece. But instructional hours, I think, I don't want to assume anything.
Going forward, it could get sticky. So
Yeah,
we'll deal with that then.
yeah, November. So no more discussion. All those in favor? 5-0, Janet. Thank you. I think. All right. Nothing more in 7. We'll move on to section 8, other business and action items. 8.1 is to appoint new budget committee members. Had a memo on that. So it should be on your machines as well there in front of you. So the recommendation that we have to fill the spots previously served by Sam Dinsdale and Roger Quinola would be Ryan Fivecoat and Colleen Phillips. This is a 3-year term. Is there a motion or other?
I'll move to appoint Ryan Fivecoat and Colleen Phillips members for a 3-year term, 26 through 29.
Second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. We just want to make sure we, as a district, send a thank you to those 2 individuals retiring on that, please. Sam, Roger. Okay. All those in favor? 4. And 1 abstention, I'm assuming. Mr. Fivecoat.
Ryan and Colleen are aware of this.
They will be tomorrow.
We'll send them a thank you also.
Yeah. Thank you for your upcoming service.
Eh.
Hayes Landscape.
loosely. Yes, Janet, you have a question or?
Oh, no, about that.
Got it. Okay. The connection made sense there, didn't it? All right, thank you. 8.2, the Community Resilience Center, we just talked about that grant process. So if I hear more, I will, but it sounds like they're reaching out to you too, so that's great. We'll get it figured out. But we don't want to drag our feet. We'll have to make a decision on moving forward one way or the other if they're dragging their feet. So we'll
Move
just,
forward with the roof. If they have to pay for it, great.
yeah, right.
Otherwise,
Oh, absolutely. It's just, we don't want to hold up CERTA on anything.
Chris sounded pretty familiar with the process. I think
Okay.
he's been involved with several of those grants already.
Okay,
So
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, so he was pretty familiar with how to go over and-
The only sticky part of that whole thing was the solar and putting that on the roof. So that requires more engineering, and that's what was going to hold up the process if we weren't careful. So we don't want to drag our feet on this if they're getting slowed up or it doesn't look good. We're just going to terminate that and move forward. So, yeah, Monica, yes.
You guys were kind of talking about grants in the fall or whatever these other grants that he's talking about.
Yes,
A lot of these grants, you can't apply for it before you start the project.
correct.
So.
Same with the roof, yes.
Like you said, I don't think we want to slow it down just to apply for some of these grants.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just a brick grant for the roof. That's all we're looking at, I think. Am I wrong in that assumption?
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, yeah, all the other stuff's kind of, the electric buses and that kind of stuff. I'm not thinking the electric bus thing might fly here, but I don't know.
I was surprised DOT didn't look for grants. That seemed a little.
It's feds, it's FEMA money, really. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Everybody's good? No stress. All right, we'll stay on that. We'll just leave that 8.2 every meeting. Okay. 8.3 is social studies curriculum. Is that going to be Monica or Cameron? All right, Cameron.
Once adjusting numbers and different things, and I think they had one little bit left off. April, you guys adopted 41,808, and the final price is 113.25, so difference of 2,305.
And that was because of enrollment numbers.
Yeah, I'd originally put everything at like 2022 books, and we've got 25, a couple of
Okay.
those classes are 22, 23, so the teachers wanted a few extras, so.
Little cushion there.
There was I think one of the high school they left off a online component, so.
So we need a motion to bump that allotment, I guess you could say, to 40, what was the number? 40.
44,113.25.
Okay,
Gotta get a quarter.
I'll move that we adjust the original allotment for social studies curriculum to increase by $2,305.25 for a total of $44,113.25.
Second.
Mark second. Is there any discussion about it? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? 5-0, Janet. Thank you. 8.4 was another addition to the agenda. This is the OSBA Fall Road Show in Paisley. This is October 28th. I know several of us have attended this in the past, so we want to get that on the agenda to make sure we have a couple of school board members at least representing the school. Amy, I'm assuming the administration team is going, or?
I know for sure me, I don't know if all admin I don't have a formal invite yet. It was more of a
Oh,
save date. So
okay.
once I have the formal invite, I'll send that, but it's.
I'll say, I thought Cameron, you've gone before too.
Okay. Not that I'm not inviting.
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
but, October 28th. It's in the evening and I don't have an exact time yet.
Okay,
They said they'll get us more information in August.
and that's what happens to our October. We start getting, is that, yeah, will work. Okay,
Taylor Heileman usually sends out a reminder
Yes.
in September, because in September she'll want who's going. So
yeah, they do dinner and everything, and yeah. Sometimes they've got some good information, sometimes it's more policies. So, yeah. Good. All right, number 9, school reports and information. We don't have Aaron here tonight, so I'll move to Cameron.
And I'll cover a little bit of what Aaron had. Just kind of looking ahead, our fall sports teams are starting to set the groundwork for another great year. Football's consistently had a lot of half a dozen kids in the weight room 4 days a week. Last week they went to Powers for a full contact football camp with 11 kids. They did 3 days here to acclimate so that they could hit the ground running. So all reports from the kids and coaches, it went well. First time probably ever we've gone to any sort of full contact football camp. So good to see that. Volleyball's kind of right in step with that. They've been having 20-ish girls come up 1 or 2 nights a week for practice / open gyms. And they were getting ready to head off this week for Caldwell, Idaho for a team camp. So everybody, it's good to see the programs that are having success continue to raise that bar and those expectations. We're on this the last couple of years with our OSA Cup. This year we tied 10th with North Douglas, so we've been in the top 10 the last 2 years, 11, 9, and 10 for the last 3. This year, 6 of the top 10 ahead of us will be heading to the 2A division next year. So, final forms, we're going to move to that for our online sports registration system. Hopefully it'll make Tracy's life a lot easier and our coaches. It's not another app parents have to download. It's just a email address. They go on there, register their kids. And for a president with all of his kids, they will continue to roll over year after year, so he doesn't have to refill out all forms. Coaches can download team rules, expectations, anything additional that they want parents to sign off on or have to check off that they've read. Coaches will get in-time updates. So if somebody brings in their paperwork and gets it all cleared, they'll go from red to green. Parents will also get updates or alerts of expiring physicals, 60, 90, 30 and 10 days or something like that, so that they're getting it. Again, coaches can do attendance on there. They will have all of their emergency forms right there. So again, if somebody comes out 2 weeks late, hands you their clearance or their emergency form, and it gets shoved in the backpack and it's buried down at the bottom, you don't know if you've got it or do have it. That'll hopefully eliminate that. So if eventually, if we like it, we can also add coaches onto that component for their trainings so that we have it all in one area. It'll work out good. Looking at some of the stats from last year, our 24-25, our 4-year graduation rate was at 93.33%, and our 5-year was at 100. We had 6 seniors earn daily Owsley scholarships this year at $12,000 a year. Renewing 4. Collins McDonald will meet this month. Here probably in a week or 2. We may get some more on that. This year, the Northlake seniors earned, counting the Owsley daily, $340,000 at local scholarships. So that doesn't count anything they've gotten in addition from their own university or any other outside organizations. So looking at our seniors to the class of 2027, we have one that has currently completed 52 college credits and is in position to complete an associate's degree along with the diploma next year.
How it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Good.
I believe that they are actually taking a summer biology class.
Yeah, just get their backcourt in there and they're good. Yeah, good. Superintendent report.
Just kind of adding as I see the calendar events, one thing I would like to do is to go into each of the 3 areas and do some sort of meet and greet with community sometime in August, September. I'll invite you. You don't have to be there. Just kind of try to go to the people versus always having them come here. Talked with the office staff of different locations we can look at. So just FYI and let you guys know. I don't know if anybody will show up, but just kind of do a hi. This is me.
Worth a shot.
Yep, trying.
Good. Okay. We got no executive session tonight. Calendar events, anything striking on there? Yeah.
Registration is August 10th and 11th.
Registration, August 10th and 11th. Same as our board meeting. Next board meeting is August 10th. And is there anything else to come before the meeting?
All sports start with
17th. So that week of the 10th, so we start camp week. So.
Boy, if Barry's got 11 kids going to a football camp, that's almost like a real team.
And that
Right.
that wasn't the whole team either.
You can just play one side of the ball now with the real 11
They're
man.
gonna get breaks.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good deal. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you. 6:52. Phenomenal. Our arms are tired from all the voting, Scott.
I got purposely waited through all that.